Coach's Corner. So you won't see my face on this one, but we have a Coach's Corner for you. So mental versus physical. I want to talk about this uh, in the terms of we always hear from everybody the difference of how much mental versus how much physical is involved in the sport. The age-old ratio. So you guys, I'm sure you've heard it before, maybe from a coach, maybe from just players playing around. The 80-20 rule. Maybe you heard the 90-10 rule, maybe you heard the 70-30 rule. It could change so much. The idea that people are trying to get across to you is how much mental is there to how much physical in the game. So we know that the physical part is the delivery, getting on the mat, rolling the bowl. And once you release the bowl, that's pretty much it. The physical is keeping yourself in shape, keeping yourself ready to go, keeping yourself limber, being able to deliver the bowl in an effective manner. But it's such a small percentage if you think about it. The ratio is different from person to person. Some people struggle with the physical and need to focus a little bit more on that as they progress along. Others, it comes naturally, and their physical performance is, really, really good. They need to work on the mental, which takes that physical performance to another level. So when you're talking about a new bowler to an intermediate bowler to an elite bowler, you're talking about a new bowler. You might want to flip that ratio on its head, right? 80% physical, 20% mental. They don't care about tactics. They don't care about strategy. They don't aren't playing in games where pressure is an issue. We're not talking about visualization. We're not talking about all those little key aspects that will take your performance up another 10%, 5%, 2%. You're looking for that little edge. The new bowler is looking simply to deliver that bowl effectively. Okay, you want to work on the mental to get them into repetition and to get them seeing the benefit of doing that delivery over and over and over again until it just becomes unconscious. So the drills and training are geared towards delivery. Okay, get that physical act tuned up, get that correct, get that all in place as a foundation for everything that comes after. Okay, pre-delivery and delivery. What are you doing before the delivery? How do you line yourself up? Where are you looking? How are you stepping onto the mat? And then the delivery. How are you gripping the bowl? Is it proper? Are you stepping? Do you have balance when you get onto the step onto the mat? Do you have balance when you take that step and deliver the bowl? Are you releasing at a good point? Are you dumping the bowl? Are you lofting the bowl? There's a whole bunch of all these little things that come into the delivery. As a new bowler or even an intermediate bowler, you're working on these things on a regular basis. You're doing those repetitions. You're trying to ingrain in yourself, this is what I need to do to get a perfect delivery. As a new bowler, I don't care so much if you're hitting the perfect shot, if you're hitting the perfect weight, if you're hitting the perfect line. I want to see that that delivery is down and you're doing it correctly, because then I can work on all the other things, because your delivery is good or great. Now I can tell you the line, and I know that you're going to hit the line if you do everything that you do in your delivery. I know that I can teach you weight because I can tweak your delivery a little bit, and get you in the mental game with that 20% to understand weight a little bit more. And I noted here changes equal more repetition. So every time you change your delivery, you need to go out there and repeat, 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 repeat until it becomes just a natural thing for you to do. You can't just go out there, change your delivery and hope that it works because you're such a great bowler or you've been bowling for a long time. Anytime you change your delivery, you need more repetition. And this is where we get into the 20-80. You can do whatever ratio that you want to, but elite bowlers do less on the physical and more on the mental. The physical comes in, like say you have a layoff, and in Canada we have a layoff of off season over the winter. We may not get out and do a whole bunch of stuff. We need that physical startup at the beginning of the season to work out the kinks, to get back into form, all that kind of stuff. And then once we click, it's all mental after that. the physical should now be automatic. Okay, you're working out some tweaks. You may um, have some issues where you didn't stretch properly, so your delivery is a little off, or something happened off the green where now, uh, because you have a little physical discomfort or something changed in your lifestyle, maybe you're a young person growing up, your physical has changed a bit. Now you need to go back and work on that a little, but it's minor. It's not a major, major change. The drills are now about visualization. Okay, can I picture that bull going down and making that shot so that I can repeat that when I actually do the physical action? Weight and line. Can I nail the weight and line as much as possible mentally so that when I throw that bull and I know my delivery's good, I'll hit that line and I'll make that weighted shot. And adjustments. You know, I'm a foot off. Can I take a foot off? Can I add a foot on? Can I make the inch adjustment on my line so that I just missed the jack? Now I'm going to hit the jack. And I'll focus on concentration. This is where that video before comes into play. Aaron was under a tremendous amount of pressure, but the focus and concentration he had during that whole time playing against an elite player, playing in a major event like that, even though he was a good player, um, tapping into that focus and concentration, both of them, I should say, actually, to whether you're up or down, whether you're in a bad spot in the head or a good spot in the head, you have the focus and concentration to get through the pressure, to get through everything, and make those shots count. Like I said, the physical should be automatic. Repetition is just in physical. You're just in your drills, you're working on other things, but you're still repeating that delivery. You're just keeping it flowing. You're doing it. It's automatic. You're not thinking about foot placement and balance and weight and all that kind of stuff. Um, and in my experience, mental training is harder than physical. Physical, you can go out and I can set up a drill and say, hit this point, go here, do this, and show you everything. The mental is not tangible. It's not something that you can necessarily see. You have to believe in it. You have to train in it and work on it when it's not just apparent to you what is actually out there. So physical items, okay? There's no 100% correct way to deliver. People can say that they have the magic bullet. They can say that this is the way you should deliver. This is the way you should stand. Don't believe that. Okay, there are fundamental good keys and steps to doing it. You want to be balanced. You don't want your feet too close together necessarily. You want to approach the mat in the way that you're gonna deliver. So get your point of your point of focus for your delivery, and walk onto the mat. Get your fitness up, and make sure that all the key aspects, delivery, release point, balance, etc., are all on point. There are no style points in this game, but everybody delivers the bowl differently. I can pick on a few. Jeremy Henry, elite bowler. Not a lot of people are going to deliver the bowl the way he does, but the fundamental parts of it are there. For those bowlers that remember Ian Taylor or Tails, he had a massive pump delivery where he'd circle, 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 and juggle the bowl and then deliver. But if you take a look at just that delivery, all the fundamentals are there. Everything that he does beforehand is for him to get geared up and for him to do a delivery correctly. I would never tell anybody to do that, but it works for him and he has the fundamentals. So remember, it's not that you have to be a robot and mimic a perfect delivery on and on and on. It's about the fundamentals. John Siteman just saying there, Darren Burnett and Paul Foster are two of the best fundamental deliveries that I've seen, but are way different than the typical style people are originally taught. And that's it. You don't have to fit into a mold to deliver a bowl correctly, but you need the fundamentals in order to do it. Body type, flexibilities, physical limitations, they change from person to person. There's tall, really skinny guys like, say, Lurch or myself. I'm not as tall as Lurch, but and then there's bigger people. Jeremy Henry, for an instance, has a body type that he needs to adjust to get certain things going along. There are shorter people, taller people, people that have physical limitations where they can't bend down as much or they can't swing their arm as much. So you have to make adjustments for that, but still, fundamentals are key. Understanding the basics to a solid delivery, right? Repetition to make it automatic. Do it, do it, do it over and over and over again until it becomes natural and you don't have to think about it anymore. Keep up bad habits. Learn how to maintain performance. So um, for us in Canada, we have a break over winter. You need to get out there on the green to work out the bad habits, the kinks, the stiffness. Maybe you were 5-pin bowling, maybe you were 10-pin bowling or curling. Some of those things may not translate well over into bowls, so you need to work those things out before you work on everything else. Um, and like I said, for elite bowlers, this is just maintenance. Okay? You know how to deliver a bowl. You've done it a million times. Now you just need to maintain. Okay? And changes do come with age, right? Your physical body changes, your age changes, your ability to do physical things change. And like I said, there's no silver bullet. Okay, have a coach, have a third party, or even video yourself doing delivery from many angles and take a look. What you're seeing as a first person doing your delivery and what you feel doesn't necessarily mean that's exactly what you're doing. You could think you're delivering a bowl perfectly. You take a look at the video and you're actually dropping a bowl, or you're actually off balance, right? You're leaning to the side. So do that work and get that delivery tight. Uh, Fix the fundamentals and work out the kinks, and repeat to make it stick. And new novice and intermediate, work on building your best delivery before you move on to more technical and tough skills. Mental items. Mental covers a wide range of items. Okay, so focus and concentration, mood. Can you bring yourself up to actually perform in a game? Arousal. Positive versus negative. Can you get yourself out of the super positive, hype, adrenaline fueled state, and can you bring yourself out of negative states? Okay, you want to maintain that middle ground where you're performing and you're in control and you know exactly what you're doing. Strategy and tactics. Do you understand the strategy and tactics of the game? And visualization is a huge one. I teach people on a regular basis, but it is a tough one to see. Every bowler does it. You know what bowl you want to do. You know where you want your bowl to go. You are visualizing. You just need to harness that, make it better, and make it apparent to yourself that that's what you're doing and use it to your advantage. Requires just as much, if not more, training than physical. Physical, you can see, you can do. I can get you out there and do a bunch of drills on the green that will key on your delivery. You know, stepping points. I can focus on that. Balance. I can focus on that. But for physical, visualization, mood, concentration, pressure. How can I simulate being under tremendous amount of pressure like you would in a competition? It's tough. Um, Mental can be done anywhere and anytime. That's what the off season is for, guys. You might not be able to get onto a green, but you can do the mental side. Okay, find things that will help you change your mood. How do I get to my happy place? How do I get to my middle ground? Work on visualization. Sit in a room and concentrate on what does the green look like? What is it like when I play? What am I looking at when I'm playing? And work out all those things so that when you get on the green, you can put those things into place and be an excellent visualization type of player. It helps. Trust me, it helps. Mental training is complicated. Okay? Having a coach, having someone that can help you with those mental skills is huge. I recommend some books to people. So if you're having trouble with the mental side, make sure that you reach out to me or the show, and then hopefully we can do some stuff on that. So Jake is just saying in chat, managing distractions and staying focused and concentrated is hard. There were numerous times last year where I struggled with that mid-game mental training. Is my biggest weakness, I think. And I think, Jake, you're not alone. A lot of bowlers struggle with that. Do you just wander aimlessly, like in between shots? Are you doing the work to prepare yourself for the next shot? Or are you chatting with people? Are you looking away? Do you even care what's going on in the game and you're just lobbing bowls? Okay, work on that mental game. It is tough. It's not easy. And sometimes it can be a struggle just to say, okay, I'm going to spend some time working on that mental side. Grip it and rip it, right? You don't want to be just the guy out there that's grabbing bowls and lobbing them down the green. Okay. Uh, you need dedication to both the physical and mental. And remember that ratio shifts as you get better and better. Okay. You start with the physical, you move to the mental. Um, the emphasis you should be changing over time. Okay. You don't split yourself 50-50 and try to work on both at the same time. If you're working on the physical, work on the physical. If you're working on the mental, work on the mental. But I always suggest get that physical delivery down so it's a habit, so it's second nature, it's unconscious, and then work on the mental. Everyone is different, okay? Take what works from others and use it, dump what doesn't. You can have a coach that tells you to do certain things. You can do the shooter stance, you can do the New Zealand way, you can do the Australian style of bowls, or something that's a variation. Don't do something just because other people do it. Do it because it works for you. Do it because it makes sense. Do it because you're getting the results. Okay? That's important. There is no magic bullet. There is no one size fits all. Ask around for help. And that point just before, test things out. Okay? You have time. Go out and practice and test things out. If it doesn't work, dump it. Get rid of it. Forget about it. You don't have to persist at something that's not going to work. It's just banging your head against a wall. Make sure you do the things that are going to get you into the right frame of mind, get things that are right for you and are going to be a positive influence on you. Every player and even players in different countries have varying levels of needs. Okay, Australia, you get to play a lot, and they're playing right now. In Canada, we haven't played in a serious game, like a major competition, in well over a year now. And we're going to go into winter and move. Who knows what's going to happen next year? So having that time off, what are you going to do to maintain your place? What are you going to do when you get back on the green to really ramp yourself up to be back to where you need to be? Okay, moving countries, people are traveling. Well, they're not traveling now, but they did in the past. So Canadians going down to Australia, people moving up to Canada, whatever it is, how are you going to adjust? You need to get down to that physical again. If you're an elite player going down to Australia, you need to work on delivering the bowl, learning the greens, understanding the speed, all that kind of stuff, and possibly moving indoor to outdoor. So really, your body doesn't go where your mind doesn't push it. So make sure you're working on the physical, you're working on the mental, and combine those things to make yourself an elite player.